Age of Imprisonment launches tomorrow, November the 6th. It's the latest installment in the Hyrule Warriors series, developed by Koei Tecmo and based on their Dynasty Warriors games, where players hack and slash through hordes of enemies. While the original Hyrule Warriors game, released in 2014, features an all-star cast of Zelda characters and is in no way tied to the canonical stories of the main series games, Age of Imprisonment claims to be the canonical story leading up to Tears of the Kingdom, which would make this quite an important entry in the Zelda timeline. So I thought today, to coincide with the release of Age of Imprisonment, I'd run through everything you need to know to get the most out of this game and its story. Whether you've played Tears of the Kingdom before or not, treat this video as a recap of what we know going into its Hyrule Warriors prequel, what the Imprisoning War actually is, who the main characters are, and the gaps in the story we can expect the game to fill in. Note that this video will contain no spoilers for Age of Imprisonment specifically, outside of the content shown off by Nintendo in trailers and on their socials, but it will contain spoilers for Tears of the Kingdom. So first, some context for what Age of Imprisonment actually is, and what its story aims to accomplish. Of course, Tears of the Kingdom and its predecessor Breath of the Wild tell their stories through fragmented memories, where the player can find and view cutscenes of events that happened long before the current age, scattered around the world. In Breath of the Wild, these memories are of Link's life in Hyrule before the kingdom's fall 100 years ago, when the monstrous Calamity Ganon returned. This conflict ended with Zelda trapped in Hyrule Castle, keeping the beast imprisoned, and Link severely injured, confined to the healing Shrine of Resurrection for the next century. The Great Calamity was the setting for 2020's Hyrule Warriors Age of Calamity. Sort of. Through the introduction of Terrako, a Sheikah machine who travels back through time, the game depicts an alternate series of events, a great calamity that grows increasingly different from the one viewed in Breath of the Wild's memories, ending ultimately with a Hyrulean victory over the monster. Tears of the Kingdom instead features the memories of Princess Zelda. The game begins with Link and Zelda discovering the mummified remains of Ganondorf, deep below Hyrule Castle, an ancient being who has been responsible for the repeated appearance of the Calamity Ganon above ground, and has been sealed here ever since the earliest days of the Kingdom of Hyrule, a conflict remembered as the Imprisoning War. At the beginning of Tears of the Kingdom, Zelda travels back through time to this era. She meets Hyrule's first rulers, and eventually witnesses the sealing of the Demon King Ganondorf at the hands of King Rauru himself. In the present day, at the geoglyphs marked on Hyrule's surface, Link can interact with Dragon's Tears, allowing him to view Zelda's memories of her time in Hyrule's earliest age. So this is the time in which Age of Imprisonment is set, the Imprisoning War, a time not long after the Kingdom of Hyrule was founded, tens of thousands of years before Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom take place. It's, in essence, a prequel to Tears of the Kingdom, taking place in an era we only got to see glimpses of in the main game. It seems like it will expand on Zelda's memories, filling in the gaps between what we saw in Tears of the Kingdom, giving us a more detailed look at the events leading up to and during the Imprisoning War, the characters that took part in it, and the battles that ensued. So let's recap what we know about the Imprisoning War from Tears of the Kingdom. Zelda and Link discover the imprisoned Demon King deep below Hyrule Castle, held in place by a withered, ghostly hand. This hand belongs to Rauru, all that remains of Hyrule's first king after countless years. On the back of his hand is one of the secret stones, ancient, incredibly powerful Zonai artifacts which can amplify the abilities of those who wield them. Rauru could control a sealing power of light, which, when magnified by his stone, was what allowed him to pause the Imprisoning War and seal Ganondorf here until the present day. When this secret stone falls from Raru's exhausted hand and is picked up by Zelda, it changes to reflect her own powers. Zelda can not only control a sealing power of light, like Raru, but can control time itself too, a power shared by Queen Sonia. As their distant descendant, Princess Zelda has inherited both of the powers of Hyrule's first king and queen, but it seems that the stone mainly magnifies her time powers once she claims it. Ganondorf wakes and uses his power of darkness, magnified by his own stone, to mortally wound Link and break the legendary Master Sword. The ground crumbles and Zelda falls, but is saved as her latent powers awaken, and she unknowingly uses her secret stone to travel back in time, waking up in central Hyrule, on the surface, thousands of years in the past. Before discovering Ganondorf's body underground and time-travelling to the past, Zelda and Link had discovered ancient murals. The first of these murals depicted one of the Zonai descending from the heavens, bringing with them a set of secret stones. The Zonai are one of the most mysterious races in the Zelda series. They're incredibly powerful beings, said to be descended from the gods themselves. They once lived in the skies above Hyrule, but at some point they chose to live on the surface. After an unknown amount of time, one of the Zonai, named Raru, took a human wife, a priestess named Sonia, and together this couple founded the Kingdom of Hyrule. By the time Zelda arrives in the distant past, some time has passed since the founding of this kingdom. Raru and Sonia are, by all accounts, fair and benevolent rulers. Together they had journeyed across the land and purged evil, placing shrines of light in their places to purify dark powers and make the land safe. By this time, Raru and his sister, Minoru, are the only two Zonai in existence, the last remaining descendants of a great civilization of godlike beings. Though the nascent kingdom is peaceful, this doesn't last long. The kingdom is watched by envious eyes from the desert. Ganondorf, the king of the Gerudo tribe. The Gerudo are a race of powerful warrior women, to whom a male is born only once every century. This man is destined to become their king. Ganondorf resented the peace brought to the land by King Raru. He questioned his right to rule, and despised how Hyrule protected the weak. In Ganondorf's eyes, only the strongest should thrive, a worldview as harsh as the burning desert his people hailed from. Ganondorf and his Gerudo followers attacked Hyrule with an army of Molduga, great beasts of the desert, to probe the kingdom's defences without showing their hand, and thereby avoiding all-out war. When Raru used his secret stone to defend his lands, the power of the Zonai artifact caught Ganondorf's attention, and so he changed course. He pledged allegiance to King Raru, apparently making peace and uniting their people, but in secret plotted to take a secret stone for himself. Which he did. Using a phantom puppet of Princess Zelda as a distraction, Ganondorf ambushes and kills Queen Sonia, and takes her secret stone. Once he claims it, it changes to reflect his own powers, and allows him to transform into the Demon King, a godlike being of unmatched power. This is where the Imprisoning War truly begins, and is likely where much of Age of Imprisonment's story will unfold. Tears of the Kingdom's memories avoid the details of the conflict itself, giving us the setup, and of course the climactic ending for the war when Raru seals Ganondorf, but details of the actual battles are virtually non-existent. So let's go through what we do know, beginning with the characters confirmed to feature in Age of Imprisonment. First and foremost is Princess Zelda, Hyrule's future leader, trapped in a time not her own. She wields a secret stone, actually Raru's secret stone from the future, and controls the powers of time and light. inherited from her ancestors. Next, King Rauru, the King of Light, wielding his secret stone and his power to repel evil. Now, Queen Sonia has been shown to be playable in Age of Imprisonment 2, using an ancient bow that appears to function similarly to the Bow of Light, a trademark weapon of Princess Zelda. Of course, Sonia dies before the Imprisoning War truly begins, so if Age of Imprisonment does follow the canonical story of this conflict, I wouldn't expect her to be around for too long. Minoru is Raru's sister, a Zonai with a keen eye for technology and research into the machines built by her Zonai ancestors. She, too, wields a secret stone, amplifying her power of spirit, allowing her to transfer her consciousness into Zonai constructs. Agreston is the leader of the Goron tribe, a race of mighty rock people living on Death Mountain. In a trailer for Age of Imprisonment, we see Rauru gifting him his mask, which resembles the face of divine beast Varudania, and Tears of the Kingdom shows that he is bestowed with a secret stone in order to help fight against Ganondorf, which amplifies his control of the element of fire. Likewise, Kia, a member of the Zora tribe, is given a secret stone to amplify her power of water, and Rafika, a Rito, to boost his control of wind. The final sage is Ardi, of the Gerudo tribe, whose secret stone boosts her control of lightning. Ardi's story might be one of the most interesting aspects of Age of Imprisonment. Of course, the Gerudo are at first loyal to Ganondorf, who is hostile to the Kingdom of Hyrule even before his transformation into the Demon King. Trailers for the game show the player fighting against Ardi, so she might begin the story as a minor antagonist before defecting to Raru's side once Ganondorf transforms. Age of Imprisonment also features a few characters we didn't see in Tears of the Kingdom's memories. Lunalia is a chamberlain who attends to Princess Zelda, apparently quick and dependable. Though she went unseen in Tears of the Kingdom, we can read what are presumably her notes in the ancient tablets found across Hyrule. Ancient Hylian texts recording events that took place during this time period. There's also Kalamo, a Korok, apparently in search of a place to put down roots. Koroks are, of course, the forest spirits home to the Korok Forest in Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom, the children of the Great Deku Tree who watches over the Great Hyrule Forest. As far as we know, the Great Deku Tree didn't exist during this time period. It's never seen nor mentioned in any of Tears of the Kingdom's memories, so perhaps Kalamo's story will involve discovering, or perhaps founding, the Korok Forest. A tinfoil theory could be that he is a young version of the Great Deku Tree himself, considering the comment about him wanting to put down roots. Finally, and definitely most interestingly, is the mysterious construct. Now, I have a full separate video going into detail about this character and who they might be, but it seems that this will be Age of Imprisonment's stand-in for Link, a character who, of course, does not feature in this conflict. Just like how Minoru's constructs can house her spirit, it seems likely that the mysterious construct houses the spirit of an incarnation of Link. But as for who he is, and what his story will be, we'll need to play the game to find out. So we've got a good idea already of the major players in the Imprisoning War, and as Tears of the Kingdom's memories show, how the war begins too. Where Age of Imprisonment will be truly valuable from a story perspective is filling in the details of the conflict itself, the individual battles, the decisions and strategies made by both sides, and many of the mysteries surrounding this time period. Of course, if the story does follow the canonical series of events, then we know how this war ends, with a climactic showdown where Rauru, Minoru, Zelda, and the four elemental sages face off against the Demon King deep underground, in the chambers of the Temple of Light. Ultimately, despite the strength of the Hyrulean armies, the Demon King proves to be too powerful, leading Rauru to sacrifice himself to imprison him here, so that Link, Zelda's chosen knight, can continue the fight in the far future. Zelda's story continues from this point. Through her own powers, the powers of the Temple of Time, or both, the broken Master Sword is able to jump back through time, from Link's hands in the future to Zelda's in the distant past. Immediately, she knows what she must do. She chooses to break the Zonai taboo, to swallow her secret stone, and thereby transform into an immortal dragon. As this new being, the Light Dragon, Zelda can use her magic to restore the Blade of Evil's Bane, to pour her power into it for thousands upon thousands of years until she can deliver it to Link in the future. Unlike the Great Calamity, I do think that the Imprisoning War can work for the setting of a Hyrule Warriors game without major changes. While the Great Calamity was a complete catastrophe, where Hyrule was absolutely broken, the Imprisoning War was, ultimately, a victory for Hyrule. Rauru's forces managed to corner Ganondorf and seal him to restore peace. Age of Imprisonment doesn't need to change anything about the basic structure of this war, it only needs to fill it in. Hopefully this video was useful in giving you a recap of the events of the Imprisoning War as we currently know them, so that you can get the most out of whatever new story details Age of Imprisonment will bring. I'm really excited to see what this game has in store, especially regarding all of the mysteries surrounding the Imprisoning War. If you're interested, check out this video covering mysteries I'd love to see this game answer. Thanks for watching this video. If you liked it, leave a like, and subscribe if you haven't already for more Zelda and Age of Imprisonment content. Cheers guys, and I'll see you next time.